Space Jam shocks Black Widow with a slam dunk, $31 million. Get it, Terrance? A slam dunk. Because it's Space Jam, it's about basketball. They slam dunk in basketball, Terrance. Isn't that hilarious?
Super obvious.
If only they just said it made 31 million, no one would ever click on it. The internet would shut down if we didn't have these hilarious slam dunk puns in the titles.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
That's right, we are back, baby. I'm Giuseppe, that's Terrance. Terrance, we're reunited. You're back.
Yes, sir.
This is the longest it's been without you doing Need I Say More since it started in January.
Yeah, man. Shout outs to commitment and dedication.
Yeah, we don't mess around. Of course, we want to give a special thank you so much to Miss Jerry, who filled in for you last week. She did a fantastic job. Have you listened to the episode? Because I thought she did fantastic.
No, I did. Shout out to Jerry. You guys sound like just two friends just chatting, and I was like kind of just sitting in on two friends talking.
That's basically what it was, right?
No. It was good. You guys were definitely New York centric heavy, though. I will say that.
Were we?
It was like 10 minutes of New York talk.
Yeah, the beginning was about like homeless people on the subway. I forgot about that.
It was heavy in the beginning with New York talk.
That's how it happens, man.
I was like, Joe, we're internationally known, locally respected.
Listen, people want to hear about this. Is our lives. They want to hear this stuff.
But I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it. Shout out to Jerry. She's welcome on the show anytime.
Absolutely. Follow her on Instagram. It's definitely Miss Jerry, which is MISS_JERII, 2 I's.
I thought you was about to go into the Mickey Mouse song just now.
I don't even know what that means.
The MICKEY MOUC?
Nope, not sounding like anything I know of. But anyway, Terrance, how's it feel, man? How are you? It's been like 2 weeks since you've been on our lovely program.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling like I definitely missed this. I miss being on the show. I miss
for sure.
Sitting down talking with you for a couple of hours. So.
This show keeps me sane. This last week and a half, I won't lie to you, has been one of the worst weeks of my life. And we're not going to really go into that because that's just not really applicable here. But yeah, man, the show, it helps. I feel like it keeps our sanity, you know?
It definitely gives you an escape, right? Like,
because you can just
at that time of like
unplug, chat, have some fun, put out something creative. It's great.
That's it. And I love it.
Right, Terrance, I have before we get to our Black Excellence shout out of the week, I have a controversial question for you. Is if you're at a grocery store, okay, doing some shopping, is it okay to go up to some grapes, pluck a few off, and pop them in your mouth?
No, that's dirty as fuck.
Is it not also stealing? Are you not stealing from the grocery store? They just took some of their product and ate it.
That's like an unwritten, like you're
No,
stealing
I think it's very real. It's a very written rule that if you take something from a store and eat it, you've now stolen from them.
Yeah, but I mean, it happens a lot. You never open a bag of chips while in the supermarket.
Listen, if you go in, you open a bag of chips, start eating it, and you put the chips back, you've stolen. It's just a fact. I'm not saying.
Yeah, you've stolen product. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Because they can't sell that, or even if the grapes, like, or whatever these people eat fruit. Even if you're taking some, like, they can't sell what you've eaten, can they? It's in your body.
Yeah,
they're losing money.
Nobody's telling. Ain't nobody snitching.
Some supermarkets won't allow you to do that. Some supermarkets like absolutely not.
Grapes.
Some supermarkets will have your signs. Will have people who like you need to now pay for what you just ate.
Please do not eat the grapes.
It's not fucking free. You're not going to go to some can of soup, with a can opener, open it up, and then go.
First of all,
same thing.
I'm walking that bitch and be like, you know what? Yeah, I should have had some damn samples. So that way I wouldn't have to just do this. All right.
No, fuck off, man.
I need to know if this is good before I take it home.
Shopping can
Everyone
be a bit of a risk.
should be like Costco's.
Shopping can be a bit of a risk. Sometimes you go, this is a new product, and you gotta maybe try it out. If it's trash,
me some goddamn samples, all right? Because if I had
samples of everything,
I had samples of everything.
Costco.
No,
I've been to Costco. They do have samples of every product in the store. They have some samples they give out.
Samples of the good shit. Costco's always has samples of the thing that you never thought you would want, right?
That's smart.
It's
smart. The things that people don't think about.
Some old lady sitting there with toothpicks giving you like a little nipple.
I used to work. That's exactly what it is, Terrance. I used to work for a company. I was working out of Costco. I wasn't working for Costco, but they have these in order to work the to be that person who's giving samples out. That's like a promotion, Terrance. They don't just put anyone doing that. You need to be. What? It's like an honor, not an honor, but it's like not everyone does that. Only if you're
like
good
making
enough.
It to the grill at McDonald's.
Kind of. It's just like they're not going to put like idiots doing that. It's only like if you're a good employee and you can talk to people, they put you doing that. And they have a whole section where they keep all the carts every night. And then when it's ready, those people are all proud. They come out with their fucking carts. Their fucking
man. No, they should be proud. You know why? Yeah. Because I'll be hungry. I'll be hungry, man. Going in that supermarket.
People fucking love those guys. If you're one of those people who's giving free samples
the old lady that give out the samples.
No one ever is mad at someone who's giving free samples. Even if it's bad, you're like, well, it's free. It's not only
you go in there and it's like for some reason now you want to eat. Being surrounded around all of this.
Here's a piece of advice
like this.
Piece of advice for everyone listening: never shop when you're hungry, because then you're gonna buy a bunch of bullshit. You're like, wow, am I in the mood for that? It
happens to me all the time.
You shouldn't do it. That's how you buy things. You're like, I don't know why I bought this. I don't really. You want it at the time, but you don't know if you really want it for like home.
See, that's why they should have the samplers.
I remember there was a mall in Florida, and they had so many samples that literally, if you did one walk down like sample fucking alley, you could literally be like, that's mostly a meal. I don't even need to buy anything.
Lunchtime.
I just ate so many samples of like, it's usually like the chicken. You know, one of my guilty pleasures back before I was a vegan was going to the mall to one of those random Asian places that were just getting amazing chicken, and then exactly, and it'd be like, and you'd like this, and you'd eat, it'd be a chicken and like two sides, and the sides were always like kind of only okay, but it'd be
the teriyaki chicken.
But there was always so many flavors. There was so many different places, so many different chickens. You chose the one, you eat it, and then you get a big pile of that. It was like some rice and some bullshit mac and cheese or some crap you don't even want.
I love those little Asian places in the mall.
Terrance, when I was working, I needed to work again, not for this company, but I needed to work near the Queens Mall. I was like, I am gonna go, and every time I went to visit, I was like, I'm going to get some.
Why pay for lunch if you just walk by and get toothpicks, chickens? You know,
I would buy it.
When you're done, you got a toothpick too.
You know, part of it was that when I was younger, my parents would never want to buy food at the mall. You eat before you left. They weren't wasting money at the mall, so I would get those samples and then be like, oh, I wonder what it's like to have the whole thing. When I'm an adult, Terrance, I fucking found out.
Wonder.
It was amazing. God, I miss that shit. I miss that. I miss just like crappy, but really good, like teriyaki or orange chicken or whatever the fuck they were giving you.
All good. I'm enjoying it for you, bro.
I appreciate it. Dude, I was telling you before we started the show, I went to the Veggie Grill. It's on 23rd and 6th, I believe. Fucking fire, dude. I had a buffalo chicken sandwich with a side of mac. It was unfucking.
I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this.
You wouldn't. I swear to God, I would pay anyone hard money, and they would not know it was vegan. Not even a little bit. It was so goddamn good.
I definitely. What is it? Veggie
Grill. Obviously, if you walk into Veggie Grill, you probably know what you're getting. But I'm saying, like, if I just put the sandwich down, you wouldn't.
I think that's the thing, right?
That's fine.
Somebody has to tell me what to eat. Like at vegan places.
Bro,
like,
I'm telling you,
I need to know what to order because I don't want to try stuff. But
Veggie Grill, like everything they make is stuff you've already had. They just make it out of different, make it out of vegetables. Like they had like burgers and deli sandwiches and chicken sandwiches and bowls. It's like you've had this stuff. They just use vegan ingredients to make it. So instead of eating, a dead bird, you're eating like soy out of made chicken.
You know what? It's kind of hard to give me a bacon, egg, and cheese the way that
I have bacon, egg, and cheese all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Bacon, egg, and cheese, like New York bacon, egg, and cheese from at the corner store? Not
from the corner store, obviously, but I've made my own bacon, egg, and cheese.
That's what I'm saying. It's nothing like that flavor, though.
And you know that because you've had other bacon, egg, and cheeses, or you're just assuming that?
Oh, the bacon. I had plenty of other bacon cheese.
Have you had a vegan ones? I'm saying.
But okay, so you got to be specific about that.
You don't know, but I'm saying you don't know. You're saying something like it, but you've never had other ones. So you don't. Really know.
I'd be hard pressed to believe.
But you don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Terrance, listen, if you want to meet lunch, if you're in Manhattan, I will meet you at Veggie Grill as long as I'm not for you. What?
Actually, I'm
what the fuck? Let's go. What are we doing? Let's turn the show off. What are we even recording for? Let's go right now. The show just ends. That's the whole episode. Everyone's like, what the fuck was that?
No, I gotta hit you up. I got a client over there in your area Terrance, anyway.
I promise you, I will meet you at Veggie Grill any day of the week. It was so good, and I need food that's not made by me.
All right, let's do it.
But all right, Terrance, Black Excellence shout out of the week. I'm sure you listened to last week, but it didn't stop. Even if you're not on the show, Black Excellence never stops.
Love it.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than
Oh, yeah. I know y'all missed Joe doing it. I was looking forward to him doing it, and he didn't do it.
Well, because I didn't have that, so I need to add it in post. So I couldn't just start go, oh yeah, and Jerry would be like, "What the fuck are you saying that for?" So it's not as easy as when you're not here, Terrance. Also, by the way, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the sound quality, especially mine. The beginning of the show last week was off. Terrance does the audio, so Terrance wasn't here. So that's what happens. We didn't have as good audio.
So Black Excellence, can't stop, won't stop, never stops. Our Black Excellence of the week shout out goes to the one and only, the great LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton. Why am I blanking? I know who this person is.
Why are you blanking on LeVar Burton? Just in case anybody else is blanking as well. All right. This is Kuta Kente from Roots. Okay, if you grew up in a black household years in my generation, I would say this, if you're 30 and up, you've seen Roots. It was almost like you had to watch Roots.
That was my parents talk about how insanely big that, like,
you had to watch Roots, right? It was on regular TV. And it was just like it was like a crazy moment. And LeVar Burton played the main character, one of the main characters.
Oh, Reading Rainbow. That's
yes, right. And then we go into Reading Rainbow. The guy taught us how to freaking read. He taught us how to read, Joe.
I mean, that's important, Terrance.
Right, like on PBS.
23 years they did that.
That's a long goddamn time.
Like, it's a very long time.
Just teaching kids how to read. I used to go to the doctor's office and PBS would be on, and it's like you're watching Reading Rainbow and whatever else the fuck came on. Not only that, he was in Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Was indeed in Star Trek as Geordi LaForge, which has got to be one of the dumbest or best names, depending on how you look at it. Geordi LaForge, Geordi or Geordi? See, we don't watch Star Trek. Why do we know?
I don't know. I never was a Star Trek guy.
No,
what do they call them? Trekkies?
Trekkies. I have a good friend who's a massive Star Trek fan. So if he's listening, he's probably either cringing or
he's probably hating us right
For those of you, who don't know, Geordi LaForge.
Fuck it up some more.
Geordi
Geordi
LaForgeray. He was the one that had the visor that clearly. What did it even like? Do you think he could actually see out of that in real life?
I thought it was pretty dope. The fact that I don't watch the show, so please don't kill us on social media. Didn't he see like digitally like of the people?
I'm trying
like
to find it now. But I'm not finding much on here. I'm sure. I guarantee if I just Google it, it'll tell me. But
but no. On top of doing these amazing roles that he has done, guess what he is now doing?
What is he now doing?
He is guest hosting Jeopardy.
He
is filling in for the late great Alex Trebek.
What a good choice.
And that's the same thing I said, and I hope that they make it permanent.
He only started doing it yesterday. That's why I haven't.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, good. But I hope that this is something that they look at and just make this permanent. I don't think I saw Aaron Rodgers do it.
Have they just been
obviously a good choice.
Doing a new one once a week, like temporarily?
Yeah, they've been like switching out hosts in and out or whatever. They had what's the guy named Ken Jennings, the one that
Ken Jennings. So
they had Ken Jennings do it one week and everything like that. They're trying to find a replacement for Alex Trebek.
I'm curious what suits, like. It's always tough when
you can't rush it, but you gotta find somebody that makes it work. I think they might have hit this one dead on the nose with LeVar Burton. I don't, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, wow, that's a fit. I can't see anybody else really better for this role.
They just keep on going through different people. Yeah, but I think it's on purpose. They're doing it. It's not
right, exactly. It's kind of like trial runs just to see how the public feels about it.
I mean, LeVar Burton would be a good choice, though, wouldn't he? I mean, here's the thing about Alex Trebek. Alex Trebek was actually a really smart guy. I know, like, it almost seemed like he wasn't, like he was just he's a host, but he actually was super smart. So LeVar Burton would be a good choice because he's also an incredibly smart individual. So it would make sense that he would take on a role like that.
Either that depends or on if he wants Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Nah, he's too cool for that. He's way too cool. He's doing too much right now. I do love Neil deGrasse Tyson.
But yes, shout out to LeVar Burton. I wish you nothing but more success. And again, hopefully this is a role that they decide to keep you on for.
Absolutely. Yeah, shout out to you, LeVar Burton. Sorry you share a similarity with the other guy. Also, Terrance, did you know that you can eat the banana peel, and there are people out there who eat banana peels?
It's not happening.
It's a real thing. And apparently, like potatoes, it's like the most nutritious part.
That's
Isn't that insane? Also, did you know you can eat the core of the apple? Not the seed part, but you can eat the actual core?
Funny story.
Oh, here we go.
Funny story. And this is not story time. This is literally just funny story.
Story time.
I was working at Barclays, and it was a dude that I used to work with. Shout out to Reg. His name was Reggie.
Reginald Fairfield.
Shout out to Reggie. We used to call him regular Reg. It's just Reg.
That's a terrible nickname. What's up, regular Reg?
Regular Reg. Reg was super cool though. Reg's super cool.
You call me Average Joe, I'm not going to be happy with it.
I never thought about that till now.
I'm not happy with it.
But no, one day we're just sitting in the office and Reg was eating an apple, and my boss at the time,
thing, huh?
My boss at the time looked back and realized that he finished eating an apple, and was like, "Did you throw the apple core away?" He's like, "No, I ate it."
That's fucking no. Like, doesn't that not make you feel like a psychopath? That like psychopath.
Why would you
just like psychopathic behavior?
So we was just literally like in awe that you could do, like, somebody did this, and it's not like we just heard about it. This is something that's happening in real life.
It's just now. It's just a harder bit of the apple. But I was like, I've always heard you don't eat that. But so do you make smoothies ever?
Of course.
So apparently that's the best, especially for like the banana peel stuff. Because if you toss it in, you're putting other stuff in there. You're not even gonna taste the banana peel, but you're gonna get the extra nutrients. So I would say if you're making these smoothies, maybe try it out one day. And if you don't taste it,
the apples have the seeds in them though. In a core.
Well, the apples, you can take the seeds out. I'm saying for the banana though. You can take the very top part of the banana, like the stem part, and then toss the rest of that bitch in there. And I mean, I say try it out.
I might actually delicious? Try that.
If you can't taste the difference, then you just get an additional nutrients. That's
just I might actually try that. The banana thing doesn't seem as crazy as
have you ever accidentally eaten part of a banana? It tastes like shit. No, I've always been like, this is ass.
It's never happened.
I've accidentally bitten into it before, and I'm like, this is not like potato skins, delicious. Banana skins, not delicious.
Never had that accident.
Well, you're not living, I guess, Terrance. Anyway, Terrance, so I have a story to tell. All right. So, Terrance, I as I slowly integrate myself back into the world, hopefully more stories are to come out from this. And okay. It was, I think, last week before I filmed with Jerry. I went to the movies for the first time since March of last year, man.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, because...
What'd you go see?
I saw Quiet Place Part 2.
Oh, that was actually good.
Excellent film. I'm so happy I saw it in theaters, too. It's a good movie to see in theaters. That really intense shit. So yeah, I was like... I have AMC A-list, which means I get like 3 free movies a week. As long as I pay, like $20 a month for a subscription or whatever. Did they charge you while COVID was happening as well? No, they paused it as of March of last year. And they several times since like, oh, we're going to reactivate all memberships starting at this time. And every time they pushed it because, like they tried it back last like September and it was like, well, things are still shut down. And New York City's movie theaters didn't open up until like April of this year or something like that. It was all forever. They finally said July 1st they were going to do it. So I was like, all right, well,
nice. Okay.
Fuck it. Like, I was like, whatever. Like, I won't mind going to theaters. So I was like, all right, let me go to the movies. Now I booked my ticket on like Thursday for like a Monday showing, or I think it was a Monday showing I saw. I booked it ahead of time. Now, here a few things weird. One, I don't know why people do this, but people always seem to sit in like similar areas. Like the theater was the seats were in a complete box, Terrance. It was like there's no aisles, anything, just one square box. Yeah. I chose a seat. This is important to like understand. In the complete left and towards the back is where my seat is. Okay.
Left and to the back. Hold on, wait. You're going to movies without the dinner thing? You're going to the regular, like,
oh, yeah.
You're going to the traditional. Oh, okay.
I mean, I probably can't eat most of that stuff anyway, but.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. I don't need to do that. But yeah, so anyway, I'm in the far left. For whatever reason, there's like 8 people in the theater with me because it was like a Monday afternoon. They all sat in either the row I was in, the row behind me, or the row in front of me. And I was like, I don't know why everyone's doing this, especially during a pandemic, but whatever. People always do that. People are like desperate to be near other people. Anyway, there are these two. I get in the movie probably like 7-8 minutes before it starts, and fucking Maria Menounos or whatever is up there. So these two dudes are sitting in the row ahead of me, but like in the middle of the theater. So not like maybe like 6-7 seats away from me. And of course, they're doing that thing where there's like a seat between them. Yeah. Because they're like not comfortable with their masculinity to like sit next to each other.
Ew, no, I can't sit next to you.
I find that really weird, but anyway. So they're
the only place you do that is in the freaking bathroom. Like there's an unwritten rule.
That
for guys,
is completely
right?
different. Yes, you don't go to next to the
unwritten
urinal.
Rule for guys. You don't come to next to me at the urinal.
Unless you have to. The only acceptable time to do that is if it's like a fucking Yankee game or some shit where there's like thousands of people
stadium.
And there's just too many people. That's
definitely like different.
Because other than that, I might even wait. I don't even use urinals very often, but even if I did, I would probably just wait until one opened up. But anyway, so we're waiting. The trailers start up. And I don't know. I felt the trailers were longer than ever. I swear it was like 25 to 30 minutes of trailers. So
you just haven't been in a while.
Yeah, I guess. So the trailer's finished. As soon as the title comes up, it says A Quiet Place, Part 2. One of the guys gets up and leaves to get food. And I was like, well, I don't know why he waited till the movie started, but okay. He comes back like he misses the first like 10 minutes of the movie. But instead of going back to his seat, he sits directly in front of me and to the right. So like right next to me. And again, I'm like, we're still in this pandemic, so kind of a weird move.
It's kind of close.
Yeah, and I was like, well, why not just go to your seat, like next to your friend? Like he's like 3-4 seats away from him now. I'm like, that's what a weird. I hate people that like go to do things with people like their friends or whatever, but then they make it. They do things that are like, oh, we're not really hanging out. You know, like what's the point of hanging out if we're not gonna hang out?
I don't understand that. I don't think I've ever seen
like,
that.
He was like 4 seats away from his friend. He was like closer to me, and I was like, what? Not that you're gonna talk anyway. So he has like one of those little boxes of like your shitty AMC, whatever, chicken fingers or something. I don't know what's inside.
Never eat those, people.
Right? It's also like what, $19 for that? Like, I was like,
the only thing I will ever eat is the nachos, just because I love movie theater nachos. You know, like people
nachos
like
and popcorn are fairly standard.
Yeah, like that,
if you're starting to eat like the hot dogs or the chicken, it's like, guys,
God, no.
Yeah, come on now. Like,
the
what do you
that they do to those? You can't. You can't.
I thought it was kind of weird, but I was like, whatever. But I'm just trying to watch the movie. The first 10 minutes is engaging. So he proceeds, he sits down for like a minute or two, and then he takes out his phone and takes a picture. And I know this because it was a bright flash from his fucking phone. Now, if this wasn't bad enough, Terrance, he did it 4 fucking times in a row because apparently he couldn't get the right photo of his shitty chicken fingers. Which is insane to me. During a movie is on, the actual film is playing in front of him, and that's what he's doing. Like, how do you not go, well, this is going to be bothering to people? Now, I've said things to people before at theaters, and I was like, I don't want to say anything because it's just an awkward situation. And 4 times, I was like, I was about to be like, are you kidding me? But then he stopped. Okay, he started eating. Apparently, he got the right fucking angle of his fucking chicken fingers.
Yeah, okay.
So he starts eating, and for like another 10 minutes or so, he's eating, and it's fine. And then he finishes it, puts the tray over to the side. Then he whips out his phone, and he's just on it. And for the next 10 minutes, he proceeds to be on his phone and occasionally look up at the movie and then go back to his fucking Instagram or whatever bullshit he's doing on his phone. And I can't focus. I'm trying to watch this movie. It's a tense suspense film. And all I'm seeing is flashes in the corner of my fucking eye. I don't know why people do this. I don't know why this guy took the time to spend the $12 on the movie and the $14 on the chicken fingers and the time to travel there and the time to sit down to be on his phone. I don't understand people, right? People do this all the time. So after a few minutes, I was like, okay, I gotta say something. This fucking, he's apparently he's unaware of where he is in the world. So I go, excuse me. I was like, can you put your phone away? I'm trying to watch the film. Now, I would say especially nice in that. I didn't say like please or anything, but I tried to be somewhat polite, somewhere in between polite and impolite, like so this is like, put your fucking shit away.
Yeah.
So he starts to put his phone away, and he does what a lot of people do. For whatever reason, when you tell someone to put their phone away in the theater, they get defensive, like you're like, what do you mean? This is totally normal.
Your goddamn business. Don't tell me what to do with my shit.
No. You mind your own business by not putting your shit out during a movie. This is the one. There's very few places in the world you can't put your phone out. This is one of them. The fucking M&Ms in the beginning of the commercial, of the beginning of the movie, tell you to do this. As does AMC. As does Common Sense. Already told you that commercial's been there for like 15 years. By the way, when they were strapped to the missile or whatever, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But you know not to do this stuff. And he's already taking pictures and he's on his phone. I don't give a fuck. You need to stop doing it. If you want to do that, guess what? Go home. When the movie comes out on streaming, watch it there. You can be on your phone the whole time. You can tell everyone you watched the movie even though you didn't.
Right.
So I go, excuse me, can you put your phone away? I'm trying to watch the film. As he's putting his phone away, he goes, what do you mean film? And he speaks perfect English. It wasn't like he was foreign. I went, the film is the thing on the screen in front of you.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very tense situation, Terrance, by the way. I mean, you've been obviously in life, like, there's a confrontation between two people, and like it's just a tense situation because you don't know if they're gonna like flip out or try to attack you or whatever. You just like you're in a confrontation.
How somebody's gonna respond.
Yeah. So this sounds kind of funny, but it's really not. It was quite tense at the time. So he goes, "What film?" I said, "The film is the thing on the screen in front of you." And he goes, "Oh, most people just call it a movie." So he's trying to be like snarky.
It's very true though, Joe.
No, it's not, Terrance.
No, I mean I don't call it a film. I'm going to see the movie.
I do. And so what I said to him was, well, there's sometimes you can use two words for something, like dumbass, like dumbass or idiot. I probably shouldn't have said that, but I was just so annoyed that he's trying to defend like this being on his phone taking pictures, like it's totally fine to do, even though you know it's not fine. So I go, there's multiple.
Was he taking pictures of himself or of the screen?
Of the food.
Of the food.
Of his chicken fucking fingers.
Right.
Because that was important, apparently, to really get the right angle of those chicken fingers.
Yeah, that's right.
So I go, sometimes there's, more than one word to describe something like dumbass or idiot. And he goes, oh, you mean like asshole and prick? And I went, yeah. Now that we've had this vocabulary lesson, can we both just be quiet and watch the film? And he turned around.
It is called A Quiet Place.
It is. I should have said that. But that's, and for the rest of the film, he just sat there and looked forward and watched the fucking film. So whoever that person was, if you're listening, you're welcome. You actually saw the film now as opposed to watching Instagram and hearing the film.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I don't know. But the point is, like, I want to make a few things crystal clear, by the way, to a few people, Terrance. Number one, no one on the planet Earth, and I actually will include the people on the space station and anyone traveling space, no one gives a flying fuck, even if they ask you about pictures of your fucking AMC chicken fingers. That's number one. So stop taking these pictures. By the way, Terrance, as a whole, as a society, we need to move away from taking pictures of our food and sending it to people.
Yeah, I think it's corny too.
I think we've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, it was cool.
Don't get me wrong.
10 years ago,
there are certain
if you go to a nice restaurant,
you go to a certain restaurant and they literally like the presentation is everything.
Oh yeah, because everyone knows that's what everyone does. Listen, I get it, and I've done it too. But we're at the point, it's 2021. We've been doing this now for over a decade.
But not of chicken tenders in a goddamn AMC.
In general, just stop doing it. If you occasionally want to do it's one thing, but it needs to be something good, and you should just do it less. If you go to this really nice restaurant and someone puts something in front of you, just go, I'm just gonna eat it. Let's just move away from having to take fucking photos of every goddamn thing we eat. Like, it's just not that. It just doesn't matter. How do you really care when people show these pictures? Other than your girl?
I care less.
Yeah, it's like let's just move. It's like taking pictures of like fireworks or like a parade. Like, you're never gonna watch this fucking thing again. So let's just distance ourselves from that. That's number one. Number two, everyone listening, if you go to a fucking movie theater, this is what I need you to do: sit your fucking ass down, look fucking forward, and watch the fucking film in silence. That is what the movie theaters are for. If you like to be on your phone, you can stay your fucking ass home, or you can sit outside on the floor and be on your phone, or basically anywhere else in the world. Okay, you do not need to do it in the fucking movie theater. Okay, Twitter and fucking Instagram will be there when you get back. So will your fucking friends who are texting you or reaching out. Shut the fuck up, put your fucking phone away, and look forward. If you don't want to do that, don't come to the fucking theater. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, makes sense to me.
I don't know why people are doing it. Why are you doing this? On an average time, if you go to the movies at night, you spend in New York City $16 for a theater for a movie. You're gonna buy like a $19 popcorn and drink, and you're gonna take the time, take like 3 hours out of your day to travel and come see this movie. What the fuck are you on your phone for? Like, people are so like, this is where the addiction starts to become a real thing. Where it's like you need to learn to put your fucking phone down and not be on it. It's like, I'm not on my phone right now, Terrance.
Yeah.
How can I do it? Am I just better than everyone? Probably not.
Is it an attention thing?
It's an addiction thing. And I fully get it. Because all the time when I'm at home right now, I'll pick my phone up and look, put it down 1 minute later, I'll do it again. And I'm like, what am I nothing to look at, but it's just this thing where we have so much on it that we're constantly reaching for it. I get that. But try putting it down and you realize like you can do other things in the world, like you can just put it down and watch an episode of a TV show, or just be on the computer or talk to a friend, or even just anything, like you don't have to be on your phone all. And so if you're going to go to a place like a movie theater or any theater for that matter, you're going to disturb people, and you need to just quell your addiction and just do the thing you're there for, just watch the film. So if that guy's listening, you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed the film. You wouldn't have, because you missed the first 20 minutes taking pictures of your chicken fingers. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of the film. You think I was out of line though? What I said to him, because it was a little aggressive, but he was also fighting back, so I just went with it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I look at it as far as like it's all fair, right? Like I think it's all fair as far as
I said. All I said was, "Excuse me, can you put your phone away?" I think the adult thing to do is to go, sorry, or not even say anything. Just put your phone away. Just don't say anything. Put your phone away, and we're good. Right? Yeah. Is that not the okay? Well, it's bothering him, and I'm in a theater, and the M&Ms told me not to do it, so I'm stop. Anyway, Terrance. Oh, what's, by the way, I don't know if you heard of this. You know what the Wonder Years are, right? The show that was on a long time ago.
Yeah. The old school joint.
Yeah, with Fred Savage and everything.
Yeah.
You want to know something awesome? So the show was on from 88 to 93, and it took place from 1968 to 1973. So it dealt with like the Vietnam War and a bunch of stuff like that. Terrance, they're remaking this show.
Why?
I think you're gonna like why. It takes place in the 60s. It's an all black cast.
Oh.
So now you get to find out what black people were dealing with in the 60s and 70s. And guess what? It's gonna be darker than the white people's version. Guess who's narrating it? We actually mentioned his name on the show. It's not Jay-Z or no. Don Cheadle.
No.
Yes, sir. Because listen,
really?
the first one, it was Fred Savage. Fred Savage was the kid, and then there was like an adult narrating it, was doing the voice. So now, some kid. I'm obviously no one knows who this kid is. Dule Hill's in it too. Did you ever watch Psych?
Psych. Yes.
The black guy. The black guy from that's going to be. Yeah. I'm assuming the father. But yeah, they're remaking it, and I think honestly, man. Fred. So Fred Savage, by the way, has gone into directing for the last 20 years. He was mostly directing. He's directing the pilot. That is so amazingly full circle.
That's cool.
I love that. Yeah. So I thought that'd be interesting. I think that could be a really cool show. It's kind of like when they're making like a modern but more dramatic version of Fresh Prince. Like, what would it really be like if someone had actually do that? So I like this idea. I think the Wonder Years is a good concept, like a coming of age story, but yeah. Anyway, all right, Terrance, let's get to one of our.
Actually, I saw no sudden move. I think that's
no sudden move. What is that?
Don Cheadle. I just watched it last night on HBO Max.
It's a movie.
Yeah. Is it called No Sudden Move or?
Yes, No Sudden Move. Oh, with him and Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
That was
a good movie. Really good movie. I like how Don is
the man
getting better
as
he's doing each movie.
Oh, Steven Soderbergh. Okay, you've piqued my interest, Terrance.
This is
Don Cheadle, Benicio del Toro, David Harbour, John Hamm, Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. Oh man, and Brendan Fraser gained weight, man.
Dude, I read the full story about him and like his life and why he like disappeared from like movies for a while. It's actually pretty sad. Like he really.
Nah, I don't want to see that.
It wasn't like drugs. He just went through. It was a lot of mental health stuff, and he went through it. It was a news article. It wasn't like a movie, but it was at a time where that wasn't really something people were talking about. It was like 15 years ago almost.
Yeah.
So it's good that he's making this, but that's. I mean, listen, Soderbergh and everything you just mentioned is already. Or I just mentioned is piquing my interest. So keep going.
Go check it out. If anybody hasn't seen it, it's like it's mafia-esque, you know, as far as like in that world, but not really. A lot of twists and turns throughout the movie to kind of keep you like, okay, how is this going? A little bit of entertaining as well. But it's as far as like funny, as far as like
humor. Does it take place like back in the day or something?
Yeah, like the 50s.
Yes.
I love movies set like 50s, in the 50s, 60s,
something. Yeah,
for sure. I could watch those movies all day.
Terrance, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I love seeing those.
Something I've wanted to write for a long time, but it requires a lot of research, and so I haven't done it, is a period piece. And it doesn't have to be like, it could be the 20s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. They're all so intriguing in their own right. I've always wanted to write, I don't know what kind of film, but something in that time period.
That's why I love Peaky Blinders, and I can't wait for that new season to come
Dude,
out.
You watch Peaky Blinders?
I love Peaky Blinders.
Oh, dude, I've watched the first 3 seasons. I actually think
Peaky Blinders go crazy.
I'll watch a season and then like go to other things. I've been slowly doing that, so I'm only 3 seasons in, but I really want to get back to it. It's such a good show, man.
I finished that whole thing through the.
Sure, it's only like 30 episodes. It's like 6 episode seasons.
Yeah, so I finished that whole thing through COVID.
Like, I love how like because it's so short, you get like these big, like Tom Hardy is in it, and I think like Adrian Brody is in one of the upcoming seasons. I didn't see, but like I love that.
Yeah, they do really good.
All right, so I'm gonna check this film out, dude. I really will. I think I saw like a poster, and I didn't really pay attention to what it was, but I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, that movie just got the the TG stamp of approval. So
TG 30.
Yeah,
you know what you should do? You should get a sound effect like the sound effect of like the stamping, like. And then that's what you just do as the show at certain times.
I'm gonna check that out. I don't review a lot of stuff, so
that's why it'd be like rare to.
Yeah, like it'd be when I check something out and I like it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is. If I like it, I feel like a lot of people was gonna catch on and like this, because I didn't see like a big advertisement for this movie. And
I barely saw anything for it.
Yeah, I was just like, let me check this movie out because it's Don Cheadle. I like Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's awesome, man. But that's the thing, Terrance. That's why.
Check it out.
By the way, Don Cheadle earned himself an Emmy nomination for Best Guest Actor. I think he appeared for like 1 minute and 56 seconds. I have no idea. Terrance, I saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I saw him in it. I have no idea, other than the fact that he's black, why he got an Emmy nomination, other than that he's black.
He's in the first episode and he says something just mad random.
He's only in that part where he goes
America shouldn't have died. Like,
he talks to Sam when he's like in the museum or whatever. It's less than 2 minutes.
I think he was like, "You're the guy now. You're the captain now."
You're the captain now. God, I wish you would have said that to him. Fuck. I think honestly, man, like he got it. Like they want to include more people. Like, come on. Like I love Don Cheadle, but he's done way better work than that 1.5 minutes he was on screen for. I think the black guy, the old guy they experimented on. You remember the other guy?
Mm-hmm.
He deserved the Emmy nomination.
Yeah.
Not Don Cheadle. That guy was. Yeah, like
the first
whoever
black
he
guy,
was, the first like.
Yeah.
He deserved the Emmy. I think. Maybe
spoiler alert, because we're probably ruining a lot of the show if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, if you want. Spoiler for the next 30 seconds, Terrance, go.
Yeah. That's it. No. But homie that you said that he got the CERN first or whatever, he was going crazy. The old guy that was living in the hood. He did a really good job.
That's what I'm saying. He should have gotten the Emmy nomination, but he's not Don Cheadle. He's just a random actor. So they gave it to like, well, look, we gave Emmy nominations to people of color. Don Cheadle.
Yeah. Like, also, I don't like that. I'm gonna speak on this really quick. I promise I'm not gonna make it a topic. I don't like how I feel like a lot of movies are just trying to have that Black Lives Matter or we care moment in movies and shows.
Yeah.
Did you think it was genuine?
Did you think it was shoehorned into the show?
It felt forced. What was it? I think it was the last episode. And
the whole show, the whole Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they bring it up a bunch of times.
Bro, like, I was watching this and I'm like, I want to.
I mean, Sam almost
enjoy this. Sam almost really want to enjoy this.
Sam almost gets arrested. Remember? And they look at Sebastian. They look at Winter Soldier, and they're like, "Oh, is everything okay here?" Remember in the beginning when they first visit the house, and then we didn't realize you were Falcon. Sorry.
Yeah, you didn't have your costume on.
That's straight up like they were profiling him, and I don't know if is it shoehorning or is it.
Here's the thing, though. I'm gonna say this. As a black person, right? We get it. We fucking live it. We get it. It's not like you're not doing us a favor by putting it on this major big platform and showing it to us. Yes, I completely understand that there are some people that are still ignorant to these issues and still ignorant to the things that are actually happening. So maybe watering it down to a comic series and showing it, in real life action may send a different message. But I can tell you this, I don't want to see that shit when I'm watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because when I go outside, I might have to actually deal with that shit.
So let me ask you a question. Let me play devil's advocate on this a little bit. If they completely ignore it, is that worse?
I'm not saying that, though.
That's what I'm asking. Like, is it better to bring it up, or is it better to just go, well, let's pretend like racism doesn't exist in MCU?
No. I think if you're going to do it, it has to be done in more so the correct way. Now, when I say the correct way, something like a movie like Fruitvale Station did a really good job at it.
Well,
based upon a true event, right?
Right, but so hold on, before you keep on going this though, the thing about the MCU is that it's about the MCU, it's about the characters, and they can't just make they can't go, oh, we're gonna make a new superhero who gets bullied for his being racist. Like, I think they want to go, these are the stories we want to tell, but we don't want to ignore real life issues.
But also,
like Fruitvale Station is a real story.
In the comic books, if you go back to the comic books, and shout outs to Stan Lee, rest in peace, a lot of the stuff that they wrote did deal with racial issues in a different way as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The old school stuff, the old school Marvel stuff that they wrote did still deal with, some racial issues that were going on. So I think when it's done, it has to feel more genuine. The cops, the way they were moving, felt it felt corny. It was corny. It comes off corny. And I think that's the only
maybe they need to do a better job
about it. Yeah, that's the only thing I hate about it. If you're gonna write it in. Send the message. Absolutely. I'm all down for that. But don't make it corny. When you make it corny, now it's almost like an insult to me. It's like, oh no, we got to make sure that we make sure that white people understand that this definitely happens to black people sometimes.
Well, like I said, I think their hearts are in the right place. They want to go, hey, listen, everyone's watching MCU stuff. Marvel's massive.
Absolutely. I know it's it's a platform.
We don't want to
use your platform.
We don't want to. Yeah, and I think they go, we don't want to just ignore real life issues because they're supposed to be living in the real world. They're just living in a world. They're supposed to be living in America and all these things. It's just set in, superhero world, but they want to go, there are real issues. And so maybe they didn't do a good enough job yet. Maybe in another show, whenever they want to do, it'll be that way, because they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, they've been sucking at it since Luke Cage, and you guys brought that up last week or whatever as well.
Oh, yeah. How about that?
But
to be fair, that wasn't really Marvel. That was Netflix. I know it's a Marvel character, but Netflix made that, not Marvel. Like Disney didn't make that. So
yeah, I mean, right now I don't think Disney has found, Marvel has found their flow when it comes to addressing the issues. So I would rather
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, but see, again,
they shouldn't be making that movie.
Directed by Ryan Coogler.
They shouldn't be making that movie.
It's gonna hit differently. You said it shouldn't.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Why?
Chadwick Boseman died. They should retire. They don't need to. They don't want the money. I get it. They're Disney, but like they just should have just gone. You know what? Like Black Panther is dead, and we should not be making more movies from that.
I wouldn't be mad at that, but I'm also not mad at another one. I'm curious to see how they explain this story.
I mean, I don't know. They're doing a tribute, like where he probably dies in the movie. Like, not you don't see it, but they'll say
that's what I'm saying. I'm curious to see how they, not necessarily how they explain it, but how they try to carry it.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know.
I get you though. I get you.
But this is the problem with Disney, is like they just don't care. Like Carrie Fisher died, who plays Princess Leia, and they just recreated her. And they only did it a bit, but it's also just like, I just don't like that. I just find it very creepy. And not that they're going to do that with Chadwick Boseman, but I just, lose the money. Sorry, lose the money. You know, like you're going to lose the money. You're not going to have any more Black Panther movies, but you will have every other movie you make that make billions of dollars.
Yeah, I was about to say there are other Black superheroes that they can pull from.
You make them a new one for all I care. You know, it's just like I don't know. I don't know if it's that big of a deal, but I guess I just don't love the idea of Wakanda Forever. Yeah. But
no, I mean, look, I'm not mad at you not liking it.
It's just either. I don't know. I just feel like they should let it go. But at the same time, maybe it's a good thing that they're keeping it going. It isn't all Black cast type thing.
It's an iconic character. It's an iconic role.
Oh, he's gone. So, but that's the thing. It's not about Black Panther. That's why it's called
No. It was Chadwick Boseman.
No. What I'm saying is because he's passed, the movie's not Black Panther 2. It's called Wakanda Forever, right? I think that's the title of it.
Oh, okay. Wakanda
and I
Forever.
Think, and they're not going to recast him. There's no new Black Panther. I don't know what the movie's even going to be about, but so I don't know. It's just,
but I think that's where my curiosity peaks from, because it's like almost in a sense like we want to make sure that we carry his legacy, but do it in a respectful way. You know, like we're never going to replace him. We're never going to, we're never gonna.
Oh, it is called Black Panther. Never mind.
It's Black Panther.
Black Panther. Yeah. See, what I'm saying, I just feel uncomfortable about that. And like, I'm sure they'll do a fine job. I'm sure they're going to, I don't know who's
going back on for it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then he's gonna do a respectable job.
I want him to get the fuck out of, Marvel, because it's kind of like Chris Nolan. I love them.
He's wasting his talent a little bit.
It's just like I like like Chris Nolan, like his original films, Memento and Insomnia. These are great films, and now all these huge blockbusters. Now I'm like, as much as I love these films, I would love for you to make. It doesn't
allow for creativity a lot,
especially not in the MCU. Like they're famous for like this very specific cookie cutter mold. And I know Black Panther, the first one, definitely broke that a bit. Like what's his name? The bad guy, Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan was fantastic. He was a much better villain than most of their villains.
Good job.
Because to be honest with you, he was not wrong. Like that. Like he was a good villain because he wasn't wrong. He was actually right about everything. He just had bad intentions.
That was another moment of it's being done right. The way Michael B. Jordan character was very almost elegant in the way that he was explaining his issues with how the colonizers came in. It was just more so like, hey, look, I'm standing on this fair ground. I'm standing on this point with very strong reason, and I refuse to change it at all. So it was like you said, it was like, is he a villain, or does he have like strong points?
The best villains, the best villains are the ones who are the hero of their own story, and they actually have real motivation. The reason, it's the same reason with Thanos. He was a great villain. And one of the reasons he was so great is because his idea was not wrong. It was just kind of horrible, right?
Yeah,
but it made perfect sense.
Stupid,
so it makes perfect sense what he's saying. It makes sense. Yes, if you kill half of the universe, the other half get to live better. It's not wrong. Yeah. It's just no one wants to kill. He looks at himself as a bit of a martyr. Like, I'm going to be the one to do this horrible thing because
nobody else wants to do it.
Exactly. I'll be the person to make this horrible decision because no one else wants to do it, and it will help. And I will take that burden. And he looks at that and goes, I will do this. I know it's wrong in certain ways, but it's for the good of everybody. And there are real people like who do like fucking Dick Cheney. He's just like that. He used to say the same shit. All these horrible things he did for the good of everyone. And so that's why it makes him a good villain, as opposed to like fucking Lex Luthor, who just wants to like take over the world and, enslave everybody. It's not as good. So we'll see with Wakanda Forever. I reserve judgment for now. I don't want to be too hard on it. We'll see. I like Ryan Coogler, and I love to see him do something new that's not part of this universe. Something completely.
Or Creed. Just stop doing Creed.
Well, he only made the first one, so.
Oh, okay.
I think they'll make one more and just wrap it up.
I didn't even watch the second one.
Creed 2 was great, by the way, man.
Second one was good?
2 was really good. Like, it was better than I thought it would. I thought, like, oh, no, Ryan Coogler. Yeah, and it's surprising. I watched it twice. I watched it recently. It's a good film, man.
I'm glad we had a movie show today. This was not.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. No,
I swear this wasn't.
Though, to be fair, today. What the topic is going to be, I guess, somewhat relates to this. What the topic is, Terrance, is it bad or wrong, or should we not want this to be the case if people who do voice work for video games, movies, TV shows, whatever it is, they do voice for characters that are not of the same ethnicity? So like, is it okay if a white person does a voice of a black character or any other race of any kind?
Like Cleveland Brown from Family Guy.
Sure. Yeah.
And I can't think of anybody else right
or
now.
Apu from Apu from The Simpsons, who's done by Hank Azaria, who's a white dude. And he's like,
oh, the 7-Eleven.
Thank you, come again. Yeah, like, dude, people have a huge problem with that character. There's a documentary called The Problem with Apu, is because that. Well, it's not that funny because it's actually kind of serious.
No, it's funny because
that portrayal though, that like goofy accent, that goofy character has because it's been around since like 1990, I think,
and that's why. Okay,
but that character has defined for everyone
bad,
of anyone of any Indian or even anyone who's from like the Middle East, they all get stereotyped into that role.
Have you ever leaned into a stereotype?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
What I'm saying is,
I'm just saying because there are people that lean into it. It's like
wait, but for instance, actors like Kumani, what's his name? I don't know. I forgot his name. He did like a bunch of movies he's been doing, like Lovebirds and a bunch of other stuff. Aziz Ansari, all these guys have said it's really fucking hard for them to break in because everyone's asking them, "Oh, can you do the Apu accent?"
Can you do the? Yeah.
And everyone just thinks these stereotypical idiots, and they won't make real characters. I mean, to be fair, most ethnicities have this in some capacity, but Apu is a huge reason for that for those people, and it's not fair. Like, how many actors have quit because they can't get? No one wants them to do any real roles, and so. And Hank Azaria has recently, after what happened last year with George Floyd, The Simpsons, Hank Azaria already stopped doing the voice. He does the voice of a lot. He's a great voice actor. But now they've taken all the people who do the voices of non-yellow characters, I guess, on that show, because The Simpsons. They got like actual people of color to do the voices, which is good. But my question is, do you think like in a non-stereotypical way, is it bad? Like I'll give you an example. The game Uncharted 4, right? There's a character who's South African. Now she's black. Now it's voiced by Laura Bailey, who's a huge voice actress in the industry, who's white. Now, when they were making the character, they didn't know what she was going to look like, but she did an amazing, they auditioned a bunch of people of all different ethnicities. They selected her. She did a great accent, and they eventually figured out that she was going to be black. They really had no idea. South African could be anything. So people were a little upset by that, but is that a problem?
All right. So I got two viewpoints on this. The first viewpoint is, the person that performs the job better should have the job, right?
I agree.
I just think that makes sense. If I am better than you, regardless of race, I should get the job.
I agree.
Now, opportunities are different if you're not of a certain race sometimes, right?
For sure.
So with that, it is, well, if we are going to do a character that is of a certain ethnicity, we should field that ethnicity and see who's the best in that then.
So for South African, you think they should be doing people who are African or South African specifically?
I would say
first?
So, yeah. I would say so.
This is what I'll say.
And again, that just says opportunity, because the opportunities may not be afforded. Don't get me wrong. The white girl may be,
she's brilliant,
brilliant at it, and everything like that.
Actually, do you want to pull it up and I can show you?
What? Yeah.
Pull it up right now. Pull up, do Uncharted 4 Nadine. Look up. Okay, Nadine is her name. Look up Nadine.
Yeah.
But just see if you can pull up just like a scene with her in it, and you tell me what you think of her voice.
Hi, Victor.
Hello, Nadine. Pleasure to see you again.
Only this time, I've got the drop on you.
Well, I guess I should be glad that's not a real gun. Hardly recognize you out of your fatigues.
Yeah. You know how it is. Every once in a while, a job requires us to get all dolled up. Looking sharp, by the way.
Not too bad yourself.
I'm not mad at it.
That's what I'm saying. That you're looking at the character. Obviously, if you're listening, you're not. But if you're looking at her, does the voice not match?
I'll let them know they need to give you a heads up before they do anything drastic.
You should look up Laura Bailey. She looks.
Or you can tell them to sit.
Here's the thing. If I didn't know she was white,
you have no idea, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I'll say really quick on this. I like what I think is. I think it depends on what you're making. This game has really. It's not about these ethnicities. She happens to be South African. That's what they made her. But the story is about this globe-trotting adventure and finding treasure and all this stuff. I think at that point, I think like it should be, like you said, the best person for the job, as long as it's equal. I think you should be able to interview anyone who thinks is going to be good, not go, we only want X, Y, and Z. Anyone who can do a voice, you bring
also
in.
A short term.
Also what?
It's short term. It's a video game. It's not like a series.
But I think but I think that goes for regardless. Like anyone should be given the opportunity, and whoever does the best. But this is what I'll say: it depends on what you're making. For instance, you know that movie Moana, the Disney animated film about story of like. So that movie, the entirety of that movie is based off of I think just Polynesian folklore about this guy who made, I think Moana, right, is his name, who made, like the volcanoes, and it has to do with it. The whole thing is based off of that, right?
I love Polynesian sauce. I know that was completely random, but Chick-fil-A has amazing Polynesian sauce.
But in that case, if you're making a movie that takes place with like a specific folklore of a specific culture, I think in that case, it should be primarily, if not entirely, and that's what they did. Like The Rock is of Polynesian descent. The girl who plays the Moana or whatever, Maui, I think, is that character he played. The story's about. But that is based off of that folklore. I think it would be wrong to have white people do the voice for that. For the most part, like I said, not maybe here and there.
Got it.
But because it's based off of
like a Pocahontas movie.
Exactly. If you're taking, if you're basing something like The Lion King, I mean, obviously it takes place in Africa. It's not necessarily about African culture, but I don't have a problem with Disney being like, we're primarily going to use black actors. It takes place in Africa. It's not.
Did you watch the new one?
No. Why would I watch?
I didn't watch that either.
No, I have and love the original. I don't know why I'd watch the same movie, but
I
don't know what it was.
That either.
I don't know interested in that, but you know what I'm saying? Does that make more sense? Like if you're making a movie about Chinese culture, I don't know, something specific.
Mulan.
There's a perfect example. If you were making an animated version, primarily you should have that's Chinese, right? Mulan, I believe it's Chinese. You should have primarily.
So.
I believe.
Yes, I believe it is.
Chinese people doing the voice, and obviously, if you want to, maybe like in the new Lion King, like Seth Rogen, I think, and what's his name? Timon and Pumbaa. Like,
Pumbaa.
For a few characters, I don't have a problem with it, but primarily it should be, like Mulan. Primarily, I would say, give it to Chinese actors. Because that's what it should be, right? And so with Nadine, for instance, on Uncharted 4, like it's really like she just happens to be like a South African mercenary. Like it's not really important to her character and all that much, other than the accent. So I think in that case, it doesn't really matter. I understand what people are saying. I just think if everyone gets given this fair shot, it's like you said, it should go whoever's best.
Yeah.
Like look.
I'm on both sides of the fence.
You should Google right now.
Can't make a real solid.
Go to Google and look up Laura Bailey. Look what she looks like. It does not look like you might think.
Laura.
Just go to Google, not to YouTube. Oh yeah, Laura Bailey, Bail. There she is. She's cute, by the way.
She's cute.
Can you believe she does that accent?
Okay. Yeah.
By the way, that dude right there, in the middle picture, and the pictures of far right's her husband, Travis Willingham. Both of them do so many voices. I guarantee you've heard them because between TV shows and like video games and stuff like that, they do an insane amount of work. There's like 4 actors who do probably like half the modern voices. Troy Baker, Nolan North. They just happen to be. If you're great at, I think voice acting is harder than a lot of people think. People think it's just
that's a lot of tough work,
dude.
Man.
People think it's just talking into a mic like we're doing, but you have to if you are a good voice actor, you have to be able to fully act and emote and get all of that done through your voice.
Shout out to somebody like
scroll down a little bit.
MacFarlane.
Scroll down a little bit and look how many things she's done. Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down.
MacFarlane has been doing this for years.
Scroll down. Look how many credits. Actress 487. Damn. Because this is what I mean. They just do so many voice work. Like they're so good, you don't even realize it. She was Gwen Stacy, and she's in World of Warcraft and DuckTales and Avengers. She's Black Widow.
Games.
Yeah.
Gwen. She was Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going off track here. But yeah, what I think is I understand why people might be upset with certain things. Like I don't think like a character like Apu is inherently a bit racist. So I would say you probably shouldn't have him at all. But in general, like I think like when Simpsons kind of move now, so the characters who are of color are being voiced by people of that respective color. That's fine. I think that's a good move. At the same time, I think you should do that if you can. But at the same time, maybe you're right with a long-term thing. If it's something short-term, maybe it's not as big of a deal than a long-term show like The Simpsons.
Yeah, look, my thing is this.
Because then you have a black actor who could be getting paid for years.
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like, it's more so on the opportunity side, right? Like on a short-term side, like we just saw, like Laura has like 400 and some odd credits and everything like that.
500 almost.
You know, like that's damn good. But a lot of that is, a lot of short-term work as well.
Yeah.
So, if she's playing someone of a certain ethnicity and it's like a run-on series or something, yeah, the opportunities to people, other than white are just not afforded on an equal scale all the time. That's not something.
And that is what I think is the problem. Not so much Laura Bailey being cast as South African. The problem I think the problem is like, is everyone getting a shot at that role, or auditioning?
The dice
a few
just
white
doesn't
people?
Roll the same way all the time. So
see that's kind of like what
it just makes sense to try to cast someone. Again, if this is a run-on thing, let's try to find somebody that, or even if it's like a big, maybe blockbuster movie,
fucking
animated
Marvel
movie or
right?
something, right? Yeah, let's find somebody. If they're Asian, let's find someone of Asian descent. That's actually Asian that can do this, so we can bring authenticity to this. Not to say that someone that is white can't give that feel, but it's just not the same thing. Right?
I will say it's an interesting point to think about the longevity of it. Like, yeah, I guess if it's like a video game, you're only going to maybe do the voice in one game or maybe 2 games. It maybe not be as big of a deal. Whereas The Simpsons, for instance, like the people they cast,
28 years, 30 years,
yeah, and they just cast, like I said, a few voice actors just got, like they took their voice out and they added in a few people of color. And it's like, well, that's a fucking paycheck for those people for who knows how long the characters can be on there for. Right. And that is a good thing in many ways, right? Like, it means it's I don't know. I mean, being on a TV show or something long term is great for anyone's career. I mean, you get money. That's a consistent paycheck. Exactly. And so I think there is something to that. But I think we're both pretty similar. Like, it should go to whoever it's best for, but it should go for whoever it's best for. But if it really is someone of a specific descent and it's important, cast someone of. Because here's the thing: is there a South African actress out there who can't do that? I guarantee there's some voice actors who do South African, or not even maybe they aren't South African. Maybe they are Black who could do a South African accent, right? Like, so I think you should try for that in those specific situations, but I don't think it should be like a bad thing if Laura Bailey's cast. I mean, she's brilliant and she gets so much work for a reason.
Not at all.
Yeah. So it's interesting talk though, man. I think, people would have different opinions, unfortunately, but anyway, Terrance, that brings us towards the end of our show. We of course end every show with a hypothetical.
Ooh,
did you finish last week's episode?
No, I got a couple of minutes and I'm actually close to the ending, so I don't know what the hypothetical was for last week.
You don't?
No.
I'll ask you the same thing. So you say. So the last week's hypothetical, because I'm sure people want your opinion, was if someone had hired a PI, private investigator, to like look at you for like a week, follow where you went, take notes, pictures, all stuff.
Bored.
But do you think do you think you'd notice?
Yes.
Really? Now they're paid.
They are well enough, Joe. I am on.
But I'm saying what part of their job is not being caught. So they'll be like down the street with a camera that you're not even looking in on you. They'll be, like not gonna be right behind you. They're gonna be like following you from a distance.
Yeah.
I think you're paranoid enough, but I don't know if you would necessarily see that after a week, like just see someone from far away.
I feel like I'd know. I'd feel like
you'd feel the eyes on you.
I feel like I'm confident enough to know when there just might be someone moving a little bit funny.
A lot of people say they can feel if someone's looking at them. Like a lot of people have that, like it's like, is someone watching me? You have that feeling
intuition
of like,
kind of thing.
So you think after like a day or two, you'd be like, what the hell's going on? Like someone looking at me?
Yeah. And then very few times you run into like a face or
that's what I said.
often.
That's what I said too. Last week I was like, if I saw a person, if I saw them again, I'd be like, well, this is weird.
Right.
I remember a face.
If you like certain people have a certain way they go to work. They know their route to work. They always go that route to work, right? So if you go a certain way to work, oftentimes you're probably going to see the same people oftentimes, like, oh, I catch the bus at 7:30.
Right. I've had that happen,
Right, exactly. So you kind of run into that. When you start catching somebody else, it's like, all right, hold on. Now this is a little bit out of the norm.
Yeah.
So now I got to watch you a little bit differently. And as a PI, you know, like you said, your goal is to be undetected. So obviously they're going to put somebody that you've never seen before. You don't know this person from a hole in the wall, but you'll feel the fact of this is a new person that's in my sphere of things now. Right. Like, you know, like this is a new person. So they're automatically noticeable.
But that's the thing. They would want to not actually be close enough to where you'd see them. I mean, obviously it depends. It depends if they're following you on a train. If it's that close,
right? Exactly.
It'd be hard.
In New York City, it's kind of damn. You can't sit in a car and just follow someone around all day.
I say they could follow you from like on the street, but once you go below ground, it's like, well, there's only certain.
Right.
It's much more crowded and there's less space. Right.
You're gonna get spotted, homie.
Yeah,
gonna find you.
Well, Terrance, this is when I actually tell you that I've had someone follow you for the last week and you never noticed. So I have all the.
That's a lot.
I've thought about this is old roommate. So one of my old roommates, Evan. A super close friend of mine. We had a roommate when he originally moved in back in 2009, and we were really close to this guy. And then he ended up like moving out to find something better. And we stayed in touch for a few months, but then he kind of just fell off and we don't know what happened to him. And it's been a running joke for literally years, because this is back in 2010 when we stopped talking to him, of like hiring a PI just to find him. Because it probably wouldn't be that hard to locate wherever he is in the world. I don't know if he's still in the city or where he is, and just see where he is, see if we can get a hold of him. But it's like, at this point, it's gone so long. It's like the dude probably is married with kids. Probably doesn't even remember who the fuck we are. We only lived together for like 8-9 months. You know, I was in 2009. The dude's it's been a decade. You know, so
no, I'm pretty sure you can remember like your roommates and stuff.
But like, he probably is like, I don't want to talk to you guys. That's why I don't respond. I don't like you guys.
That's probably true.
It was I only lived with you for 9 months. It's been 10 years. Listen, leave me alone.
I commend and I encourage cutting people off if you want to.
You know what's weird? I don't know what.
Just do it.
I think there's one of those things where like I don't know that he like intentionally cut us off. I think like he maybe changed numbers, because we were talking after he moved out. We talked for a few months, and I think like time kind of went by, and then like I think when we reached back out, like we weren't getting through, and maybe he doesn't want. I don't know why he wouldn't, but it is an interesting question. We talk about that many times, getting a PI, but I don't know if we'll ever actually do it.
Sure.
But all right, Terrance, that's I think the end of the show. Unless you got anything else.
No, I have nothing else.
Gotta be Jay-Z or Wesley Snipes.
Gotta have a Jay-Z or Wesley Snipes. We gotta make sure it's always included. But with that said, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. Need I say more?